Hello, what's up guys? This is a tutorial introducing Gaussian splatting in Blender. So Gaussian splatting is this new 3D representation that was published a few months ago as a SIGGRAPH best paper. It's kind of a collection of semi-transparent 3D ellipsoids that kind of render together to give you this vivid final result. So in this tutorial, we're gonna bring Gaussian splatting into Blender and try to add a little effect on it. Currently, I found two websites that can create Gaussian splatting online. The first one is Polycam and the second one is Luma AI. And we're gonna play with Luma AI. When you log into the website, there's a create a button and you can add your video to it. The recommended way to create a Gaussian splatting scene or an object is to capture a video in 360 orbit. For example, I have two videos here. The first one is a video of our red bird statue. The second one is a video of some teammates of mine, and also it's in 360 orbit mode. Next, we drag the video to the create button. The processing takes about 30 minutes, but you can upload multiple footages to run simultaneously. As you can see, the processing is done for the two footages that I uploaded. The first one is this red bird, and it kind of overfit to the exact angle that the footage was captured. Also, the second one, the result is pretty interesting. Here we click the download button and choose Gaussian splatting. After downloading and unzip, you will have this PLY file. Then let's go to this GitHub page to download the add-on for Blender. And this is the file we downloaded. We right-click on the Blender add-on folder and zip it. Next, let's go to Blender in Edit, Preferences, Add-ons. We click Install and choose the zip file we just created. And let's enable it. Let's press N and select Gaussian splatting and click Import and choose the PLY file we just downloaded. Okay, let's delete the cube. Alright, this is our red bird. Okay, because I only want the red bird and we're gonna select and delete everything else. Let's go to Edit Mode and toggle X-ray and delete everything else. By default, the add-on is in point cloud mode. To see the actual rendering, we need to unclick this as point cloud option and change the display percentage to 1. Alright, this is the actual rendering of Gaussian splatting. Now let's add some magic to the show. Let's go to Shading and change to Geometry Node Editor. This is the geometry node we have, and this point as instance node is what we're gonna play with. Let's move it to the side. First, let's add a set position node. Then we add a noise texture node. As you can see, the position of the Gaussians are distorted. And because we only want noise in one axis, so we add a combine XYZ here. Okay, now the noise is only on the x-axis. So this is the noise we want. Let's add a map range node and change the range to -1 to 1. Okay, let's add a math node to control the scale of the noise so we can add animation later. We can change the scale to 0.01. And we need to change the mode to multiply. To add animation, we can switch one of the window to timeline, go to frame 1 and insert keyframe for the scaling. Then go to frame 40. Change the scaling to 0 and add another keyframe. Then we can switch to animation window and see the animation result. With some animation on the camera movement, this is how we created this little video in the beginning. If we remove the combine XYZ node and change the noise texture from 3D to 4D, we have a W to play with. Let's change the scale to 1 and detail to 0. To drive the animation, we can also add a value node. Type in #frame. So this node will output the frame index number. We can also add a math node and change to divide to smooth out the transition between frames. Let's say we divide it by 20. Let's also remove the keyframes that we created before. This is how we generate a wave-like animation of all the points, just like this. Finally, we're gonna add another point cloud effect to the scene. Before we continue, let's change the scaling to around 0. Okay, we're gonna create a plan and a large sphere which we're gonna attach our point clouds to. We go to the geometry nodes for the plan. We delete the graph input and also drag the large sphere into the geometry nodes. Let's add a distribute points on face node. In this way, we're gonna distribute a lot of primitives on the large sphere. Okay, similarly, we're gonna add a set position node and also the noise texture, and also the value as a frame number as well. A map range node to change the range from 0 to 1 to -1 to 1. A math node, change to divide. Let's set it to 20 to smooth out the animation. Okay, we're gonna also change the coordinates to relative. Finally, before we want all the points to have a beautiful material, we're gonna add another sphere object. We're gonna change the scale to 0.1. Add a instance on point node. In this way, all the primitives will change to the instance that we selected. We click on the instance and Control A and press scale to apply scaling. Finally, we can apply the materials on the sphere to make them look like stones. In order for the sphere to attach to the surface of the large sphere, we add a geometry proximate node. Duplicate the set position and set the position from the geometry proximity node. And this is it. Now we have a very nice effect on our redbird with many stones around the surface. This is the end of the tutorial. Thanks for watching.